Leadership Washington will change you forever.
This whole program has opened my eyes.
You don't know what you don't know, and this is what helps expose that.
I come back and talk about all of these amazing things and the connections that have been made after every single session. The purpose of Leadership Washington, in my perspective, is to bring together up-and-coming leaders around the state of Washington and to expose them to different industry areas and businesses and economic drivers in the state.
As we all know, more and more baby boomers are retiring, and we need young professionals to step into those leadership roles.
Help broaden our horizons, help us understand what the key issues are so that going forward we can be better leaders and really contribute to the overall success of Washington State.
Have a blast, see many of the wonderful corners of this state and how business is done in each of those regions, and do it alongside some pretty amazing people.
Every month we tour different cities around the state of Washington.
We get an amazing insider's look into different businesses. We get to meet with the leaders of those businesses.
To see how they make their products, how they became the business that they are, what's important to them.
We've seen the healthcare industry, the transportation industry, the agriculture industry.
We have done things like ride rail cars and tugboats. We've climbed into nuclear facilities and made our own cleaning supplies.
You're given candid access to the business, sometimes from the CEO or the owner of the business.
The variety of experiences we've had has been amazing. I don't know where you would get these kind of experiences other than at a program like Leadership Washington.
I really liked the first stop that we had at Sunkaty at the Policy Summit. It was really interesting to hear the different panels.
Tri-Cities really gave me an opportunity to take a step back and really see some of the terrific things happening in our own backyard.
PNNL was one of my favorite stops.
The technology that they have there and the things that they're working on were incredible.
I honestly had no idea that that facility was there.
Another one was RailX.
A train rolled in while we were there, so we got to see it getting unloaded, and the guys driving around. We saw big packs of onions and potatoes and a lot of wine.
Get this cargo and move it and get it out and get it in.
Well, the roastery, Starbucks in Seattle, that was really interesting to actually see how the coffee bean is roasted, where it comes from, and then the production side of it, which actually ends up into a commodity, a product that is served to the public.
We went to Lighthouse for the Blind in Seattle, and that was an absolutely incredibly eye-opening experience. The work that they're doing there is amazing, and I had no idea what was going on.
We've been in Olympia, where we did some legislative work trying to see how that process works in terms of how that impacts businesses.
It tied it together for me how important it is to really understand the laws and the legislature that's being passed.
We went to a mint manufacturing facility. Who thinks of that? And the impact and the amount of money that surrounds that is huge.
And we visited JBLM and were able to tour the air defense facility that they have on base.
So they are defending the United States airspace, everything west of the Mississippi.
Tidewater was a very cool stop. We were able to actually get onto these large tugs.
That was so cool to be able to sit in the captain's chair of a tugboat down in the Vancouver area.
How the dams influenced the ships going through. It was just kind of interesting to tie it all together.
In Bellingham, we learned a lot about the importance of the border with Canada.
Our state is so tied to international trade.
Bellingham cold storage was so cold. The last stop was 10 degrees below zero.
We got to see Aslan Brewery.
They're excited about the business and work that they do, and it's fun to listen to that enthusiasm.
It's just amazing to me the amount of pride that a lot of these business owners have and want to be successful, not only for themselves and their families and their employees, but also for the state.
This year's group, the class of 2017, has been fantastic.
I think we hit it off almost immediately. This group just came together, we gelled, we had a lot of fun.
We come from different industry areas, we are different ages, we're from across the state.
I think that's what's brought a lot to the actual visits is the perspective that each person has. It's questions that I would have never thought of before.
It is that diverse aspect of our backgrounds that really, I think, makes it such an interesting group and probably speaks to why we became so close so quickly.
Lifelong friends. I have no doubt in my mind.
I've definitely made lifelong friends. I'm going to miss everybody. I've certainly made business connections.
Now I have allies that I've made through this program. Folks from energy, folks from manufacturing, folks from insurance. If you're an ambitious professional and you care about business in this state, then Leadership Washington is the program for you.
You learn so much about leadership as well as the statewide economy.
With Leadership Washington, you can be a part of telling the story of what it means to be an employer in Washington State.
It is definitely worth the time and money to invest in yourself and your company.
You could try and organize this yourself, but it might take you 10 years to be able to get into some of the places that AWB is able to get into just because of the strong connections that they have around the state.
It's about knowing the different nuances of businesses, and Leadership Washington gets you there.
It's been life-changing for me. I think about things differently now.
It's educational, it's inspiring, it's a one-of-a-kind experience I don't think can be replicated anywhere else.
I promise you it won't disappoint you.